What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Ryan. I just woke up from a nap. You know what it is. It's time for another video where I go get some major vintage heat. And I have linked up with an old friend of mine who's trying to get rid of some hats. And so I'm heading to a place to go get those hats, a safe location. And man, there's like 20 plus hats that are absolute gold. I can't wait to get these puppies. 22 of these hats. Oh shoot. Let's head back to the crib and oh my god, there's so many freaking heat coming soon, baby. Welcome back to Ryan Has the Hats. We've got so many hats. We've got 22 hats split and divided. Yep, that's the word. Divided into two boxes. And oh my gosh, not only am I so happy with what I paid for these hats, but all of these hats, every single one of them, with the exception of like maybe one or two, are just like absolute bangers. So without further ado, let's like crack into this box. Holy cow. The Indiana University script hat. Look at this. Almost all of these hats are in like absolutely like fantastic condition. Or like as far as like the shape of the hat, this guy who had these just took care of these hats. Let's see. One issue I do see is a black mark on the side here. We have the P with a hat on it. Look at that. But the inside looks pretty good. The problem that I run in is when you have this netting, I don't know how to reform this, just being totally candid. So when hats like that have this netting, which I think one of these does, when that part is kind of messed up, that's kind of hard for me to fix. What you do see actually in this hat, speaking of which, is like kind of almost like lines like right here, right here, right here. Those are kind of hard for me to like get out, and I think that's because of the netting. I've seen that as pretty common in these types of hats, but nonetheless, solid first hat. But we have the Rocky and Bullwinkle hat. This is so cool. I've never had any Rocky or Bullwinkle stuff, but as you can kind of tell, we have some streaking right here that would have to be like reformed. But we've got the side stitching, that's kind of cool. But then we have this really cool cartoon script on the back. Bullwinkle, the moose, super cool. Hats are like a mystery to me because I'm used to selling hats anywhere from like 10 to 25 bucks. But some of these hats, I think, just from what I was talking to my buddy who's like in the hat game, he was saying like some of these hats, like I know I have like $100 hat in here for sure. North Carolina Tar Heels Sports Specialties. That's one of the most like premier brands from the 90s that you're gonna like really enjoy. They just always put out quality. I love the fit of the hat. They went light blue and the green brim right here. The blue is in perfect condition. This is a really nice and solid hat. Wow, look at this. This would actually match my 1989 San Francisco 49ers shirt that I actually just got. But look at the cream. Like, this isn't even white. It's like I mean, it's white technically, but it's like a really clean cream. Great condition. Love this. Absolutely. NFL on the side. We've got the Apex, because this is an Apex 1. The old school, like, minor 49er script that you're used to. This is so clean. Look at the inside of the brim, like almost like a cream, good condition inside. Nothing wrong with the snaps. Very clean hat. Only slight bend to the brim, but not too much like where you'd have to reform it, I don't think. But this is a very clean 49ers hat. Oh, man, I really like this. I've never seen this before, like where it has like a player. Oh, shoot. And there's new with tags. Look at this. So this is Randy Moss. Great condition, very simple. I have no idea how well these do. These could fly, these could sit. I don't really know. But it's also new with tags. So you gotta love when it has new with tags. Always improves the value of the hat. Nothing wrong with it. It's in really good condition. This absolutely beautiful Boston Celtics corduroy hat. I am a huge fan of corduroy. If you watch my channel, you would know that. I'm not really sure on the brim. This seems pretty fragile. That's probably the worst part of the hat, but I don't know if that's a corduroy specific thing because I had my Ohio State Buckeyes corduroy hat was the same way. There's some definite like staining or yellowing, probably from sweat. Look at this like just old AJD tag. I've seen this before on another couple other hats in this lot, which is maybe just indicative of the year. I actually used to have this hat, and he sold it right back to me. So the Indiana Hoosiers 1987 National Champs hat. This is a very iconic piece, one of the few championships that the Indiana Hoosiers did win. Shout out. Almost like kind of got this like guard, if you will. You know how like sometimes the hats will have like a guard in them? It's almost like weird how that's like a part of the stitching, which is, yeah, I've never seen that before. Great condition. Look at the brim. Fantastic. And I don't know, the netting is just in such good condition. Like usually trucker hats are like just destroyed, but this one's like in really good condition. Oh, this one might be going in the personal. He said that he was going to be keeping a Ball State script hat, and so I was like kind of pissed because I thought he was talking about this hat, but actually he wasn't. He was talking about another one. Ball State stuff in Indiana State, anything like minor schools in Indiana are kind of hard to come by, and I personally love this stuff. They may not be, you know, like hip hop tees and just super expensive, but just for being in Indiana, like this stuff is like super wanted, I feel like. University Square, which I've seen that before as a brand of like kind of some older hats, but this is that screen guard that I was talking about where you kind of have this little, like, I think this is either a sweat guard. I think that's what it is. Suns, number 7. So whoever that was, I'll put it on the video. We have one of my favorite logos in the NBA on the side, and we have the NBA basketball on the back. As far as the interior, we've got that AJD. This is stitched upside down, which is super weird. That's sus. Oh, the Pink Panther hat. This is another one that I was like similar to with the Bullwinkle hat. I have no idea how much this is worth. And instead of this being pink, this is like a really light red, but this is red. Got Pink Panther on the back, but he's popping out the front. Look at that. This is a very common thing I've seen in the hats where basically this part of the hat like kind of juts in. It's like my hardest part to kind of reform / it's a very common part of the hat that I see having to be reformed. The freaking Zubaz on the bill. Look at that. And we have, who's number 33? Oh, I don't know. That's just Larry Bird. But this is like, it's a raised print right here. Like, this is so cool. Being a white hat in the USA Olympic 1992, that'll date the hat. Like, also the white on white stitched on the back. As again, you see kind of like how it has these streaks right here, like where you would need to reform it. It's very common in the netting of the hats here. I got to look up how to fix this, but that usually leads me to not reforming it because it becomes very difficult with what I do know how to like reform. This one's sick. Look at the like freaking the hash marks on this hat, but it's almost like paint. If you really were like zoom in on this hat, like just how much like this looks like paint, it might have been. I don't even know how they would have made this, but the even sick part is the Pro Line Logo Athletic, new with tags. Wow. As we have the cream and white IU vintage snapback. Look at the very clean stitch embroidery on the back. Indiana. There's no stains on it either, which is kind of surprising and nice. The last of this box is right before I filmed this video, I showed a guy that I had this hat. He's like, please do not sell this hat for less than $100. Michael Jordan signed snapback. I'm gonna guess this has netting. Yep, it does, because we have the streaking right here, 1 and 2 right here, but it says Jordan 23. You know what's really interesting is I just noticed this, is it how it has almost like a visible patch in the same color. If you can see that, but it's the same color as the brim. I saw this also on the USA, so that might date it, I wonder. Because if you see it as well, the same color of the hat as the patch. I wonder if this is also, oh, the signature is raised. Look at that. I didn't even notice that. We have the upside down AJD tag.